for Genshin to be released. Trying to think of what I could do in the meantime. I could read the update notes. Let's see if the patch notes are. Here are the details. Okay, so there's going to be new recipe at the hotel at the board. Obviously, all the new characters are going to have specialty dishes. More emojis, some achievements, name cards. A new battle pass reward? I don't know what this travel notes simulation. See, we got new TCG cards. I need to start playing that again. I've been on a kick of it, and then I got off. Got Furina, Rizli, Jinyan, Yunjin, Kaveh, and their talent cards. That's fun. Oh, I saw leaks for next banner. So 4.8 is looking like Neely, Rosalie, and then Shinha and Navia in the second half, and at some point the new character Amelie 4-star will run, and possibly the leeway version of the specialty banner. Which, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the banner. Part of me is like, just make a third event banner. Just do it. Like, don't piddle around with it. I mean, it's a way to get more money because you need to have like 160 guaranteed, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that banner. And then I also saw speculation for that somehow the summer event is going to involve Wanderer, which I'm interested to see what that means exactly. But it's also not shocking because, like, we know at least some stuff will be different. Like, usually Kazuha runs in the summer event banner, and he will not be, I assume, because he just ran. Well, also because the leaks are itself, but mostly because he just ran. I don't know what to expect from this banner. Or from the summer event, sorry. I mean, I assume they're gonna do something completely different. Just because that seems to be what they're going with, but we'll see, I suppose. I kinda hope they make a new area. Maybe. It might be open. We might be in. Yes. I need to remember to refresh. Oh, I was like, good crap, is there a... So there's our Dainsleif quest. Don't want focus. Test run. Yeah, bedtime story. And Abyss.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens.
There'll be an extra few hours.
Okay, well, we'll do... Okay, let's start with Sathos. Let's try him.
Excuse me? Behind you! Whoa!
You're up!
Behind you!
So he He seems to be very good in...
Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day! Just like we rehearsed! Don't be scared!
You want this one. You are not welcome here. Way ahead!
I don't know. Seems like he has a lot of energy. He needs a lot of energy. I think I'm going for Al-Haytham on my alt account. That's what I think I'm gonna do. But I'm really conflicted because Mew is also
Let's dance!
Midnight Phantasmagoria. Diffract. Flicker. Well now.
And now for the big one.
Final warning!
Ready.
Oh my god. Yes.
Justice will prevail! Drop your...
Supporting fire! Into the shadows. Hunt them down.
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Time to testify.
Hands where I can see them! Stop right there!
Ready.
I love her. We have to have her. Okay. Wait. Okay, let me pull up. Well, okay. Looks like my wish counter is down right now, so we're just gonna...
Sorry, ma'am.
yes. Okay, okay, okay. Well, that was something. I'm in distress. Okay. Well. What are our options here? Even if I got the $50 one, that would still only put me at like 50 wishes. But I think I could come up with 20. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Can we play banker next time?
It's not.
There'll be an extra fee for that. Exactly. But none of them believe in it.
Well, this has been sad. What do you even do? Okay. I don't even know what to do with my life now. Huh? I do know what to do with my life. Might be back to the grind. Hangouts. I'm not gonna buy anything until the last minute.
Can we play Banker next time?
Okay. Well. I guess let's see what Dainsleif wants. So sad.
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name.
Okay.
They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best—
Alright then, let's go! I'm starting to get really curious about this whole thing.
Or maybe it's the Tui guy that they found. I got some bad news about him.
We made it to Vimara Village!
He's
Why
not
don't
come
we talk
back.
to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy?
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Ah, so you hear about that then. You're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show for their efforts. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues. But no one has been able to make any headway.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
No, this is my main account,
Guess
and
you are really sick of
we've
answering
already
questions.
we've already met Sadness, the event character that I wanted. I got a different character. I got a standard character. It's not even a good one. It's a bad one. It's like the worst standard character you can get. We're in crisis, is what I'm trying to say here. So, to get over it, I'm doing the new quest. And this is like a big quest. This is like a lore-dropping quest. It's part of the main quest series. Because that's all that'll make me feel better in life.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as
So, we've been sent on a quest. Someone is missing, but none of the villagers know his name or anything about him, but he's missing.
We just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long gone by now.
Okay, this doesn't make sense.
At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
Alright, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Young guy. In his early 20s, probably. Incredibly kind sort of person. Always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day. I just hope nothing bad happened.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village? There's no way he would have been able to manage that.
Yes. So, none of the playable characters have perma-died yet. But there's a theory that some of them will, largely based on the fact that other games... So, okay. So the creator of this game is Hoyoverse. And Hoyoverse has multiple games. I play another one. And they're all technically connected. Like, it's not outwardly like this game leads to this game leads to this game, but like, there's connections. Like, they are very clearly connected. Not just a theory, it's basically confirmed type connection. And in past Hoyoverse video games, main characters have died before, so people are pretty sure that by the end, people are maybe gonna die. There's some characters that have some death flags. But as of yet, none of the playable main characters have, but like one of the very first main villains you're introduced was killed by by one of the playable characters, and then a couple people just that you've become friends with over time, some like NPCs, but like important NPCs have died. Basically, as time has gone on and as you've gone from nation to nation, the storylines get darker and darker, and so in recent storylines, we've seen a lot of death.
Huh. Alright, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
Can't even remember who that is. Yeah, it's interesting. So the character is trying to get was Clorinda right here. And The character we got was this character, and we're not happy. We already had one other instance where we weren't happy to get her. Well, now we can't do our quest until my friend. Oh shit. See, and the problem with playing two games is their button setups are different, so now I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Where even are Sethos rocks? Where have you gone?
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
What does he even need? We did get a new 4-star character. He's fine. He was kind of rude to me in the quest I did with him, so we gotta hold that against him. But while they're in my world, who needs build?
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Okay, here are our options. Camera girl or penguin boy. Who would you like to see me build? Finish building, I should say. Okay, we'll finish building penguin boy. Oh, I didn't think this through. I have to wait till this person leaves my world so I can have a full team. Because otherwise I will just be a two character team. And nobody wants that. Well.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
Yeah, I don't know what to do while this person's in my world. I guess we could go explore and start getting primos to make me feel better. No, I decided to stop streaming it. It was a hard game for me to stream because
over the centuries.
I felt like I never had anything to talk about.
Or a bubble rising through water.
And I think some of that is because it's not that I had just seen it. It's not that I'd seen it been played before. It's that I'd just seen it been played. So I was like, I don't really have anything to say.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending. Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
But I did play some of it, like, I was playing it today while I was waiting for the update to drop. So I am finishing it, I didn't want to stream it anymore. So I'm going to start streaming, Baldur's Gate.
I think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
It needs a more romantic touch.
And I haven't played much of it, so I'm hoping that will make things more fun. And even if you have played it, like, there's so many different voice lines and stuff and ways you can go. So I started playing a thing. I'd started a little save right before I decided that I was going to stream it. So I played like 3 hours of the game. And to preview, because I'm just going to recreate this character that I made. Oh, we're playing with a bard.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion.
And we are romancing Astarion.
Alone and unchanging.
That's the whole reason I got the game. Just put that out there. Whole reason I got the game. Because I have never played D&D.
I think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
I think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous.
It needs a more romantic touch here.
Sorry, typing distracts me. No, so I don't really care about D&D. I did watch a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon when I was a kid that my dad had, but I really don't care about D&D. I've adjusted to the turn-based, but I'm not quite as big of a fan of that. And in the 3 hours that I played, it definitely required more of my brain power than I am used to putting in games. But
I think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous.
for Astarion, we will do what is necessary.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
I think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. It needs a more romantic touch here.
I wonder where humans come from.
think the hyper-emotional element you're adding is just gratuitous.
Okay, we gotta get back into, where's co-op? Get out of co-op mode. I watched people play a D&D campaign, and like, I want to stick around and watch a whole thing, but I have the attention span of a goldfish. We can blame TikTok if we'd like. I don't think it was that. It's definitely gotten worse as I've gotten older.
Is that guests I hear?
I sit at work and I'll be doing a work task at my new job, and I'll make it 15 minutes and I'll be like, I need to do something on my phone. I can't. It's ridiculous.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. But I do remember hearing the sound of his voice. Not recently, of course. That loss has left me feeling quite empty. I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely. In fact, he was usually the one offering companionship to others.
I don't think this is Dainsleif. But it can't possibly be either. It can't possibly be our Abyss sibling, because, then these villagers would have had to have lived over, 400, 500 years. And that doesn't make sense. I mean, it's possible in Genshin, but, it just doesn't make sense in the context of, this isn't, a place that's just cropped up of immortal people. But... Plus, we know that, younger people, not just this old guy, Grandpa, met him. God, who is this?
He would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. He always knew just what to say.
Dainsleif just doesn't cross me as that I'm going to give out life advice to people.
As the village chief, I owe him many thanks. Helping villagers navigate difficult moments in their lives should have been one of my responsibilities. But he was often the one rising to the occasion.
Okay, I should probably explain this. So I think I've told you, Genshin, we have this sibling that we're looking for, and he's currently working for the evil side. If I haven't, the game starts with we get separated from our sibling by an evil god. We wake up, we're searching for him, and eventually we run into him, and he's joined the Abyss, which is the bad guys, and he's their prince, and we don't currently know why. And the reason we run into him is because we meet this guy named Dainsleif. He's real mysterious, and we find out he's from the ancient civilization of Conria, and the gods 500 years ago, right as we got separated from our sibling and put to sleep for 500 years, the gods destroyed Conria for being godless and also some crimes against humanity and stuff. And, now any surviving people of Conria are cursed, so Dainsleif, wears a mask over half of his face and stuff. But anyway, the first couple quests we do are about the Abyss, and then eventually we run into our sibling, and it's revealed that our sibling woke up 500 years ago, really wasn't asleep, and was traveling around Tibet, basically in the same order that we did, doing very similar things that we did, and he was traveling with Dainsleif, And at some point when he joined the Abyss, he and Dainsleif fell out because Dainsleif's not about the Abyss. And so now he hates Dainsleif. And then the very last quest we did with Dainsleif was also in this in the same region we're currently in. And we somehow lived through the memories of our sibling meeting this other guy from Conrail like 500 years ago whose son had been turned into a hilichurl, which is kind of like a demon, basically. It's one of the enemies that you fight. So it's important. That's the curse of Conria, is anyone who is half Conrian and half not Conrian got turned into hilichurls. And he's trying to figure out how to turn his son, back human. And so we are doing all these rituals, and we stumble into this weird ruin, and this voice starts talking to us, and it refers to itself as the sinner. We go back, we give some medicine to the guy's son, and he doesn't turn human, but he starts to wake up a little. So we go back to the ruins, and the sinner convinces the guy that we're with to worship him, and he'll fix his son. And it's really weird. And then we go back, and his son, again, still not human, but he's fully awake. His mind is back. He's no longer a mindless hilichurl. He's a person in there. But his body doesn't turn back. And for some reason, we go back to the ruins one last time with the dad. I can't remember why, but when we come back, the hilichurl's son has run off. And we realized that he saw himself in the mirror and realized he turned into a horrific monster. And he basically goes to throw himself off of a cliff. And it's all related. He becomes this thing called the Loom of Fate, which this quest is apparently supposed to help us figure out what that means. And then we run back, we separate from them, and we go back to this house that we've been hanging out from the people in. We look in the mirror, and we see our sibling's face instead of ours, and we realize that this whole time, we've been living that memory. And we wake up to Dainsleif, and we tell him, and he was like, you know what, I remember, this weird experience we had at this hut 400 years ago, and that's when your brother, stopped, being positive and kind of started delving into Abyss stuff, basically. This was his turning point. And then when we tell him about the voice that called itself the sinner, seeing us, he was like, well, shit, we have to separate. We can't be seen because we don't want the sinner to see us. And that was where I left it. Basically, there's one Dainsleif quest at the end of each cycle. So the cycle is the length of time that we're in a region, and there's one. Now, he doesn't actually show up in every region, but for every region there is a corresponding Dainsleif quest. Whether it takes place in that region or not is not required. It just has, it's a yearly thing. I don't know how to explain beyond that. And so last we saw him, he was like, we can't be seen together by this sinner. But now I'm trying to figure out if he's the missing person, but it really doesn't make sense. But also it could, because we don't know what kind of powers Dainsleif had, so he could have had the power to, make these people forget about him, essentially. But at the same time, this guy's talking about, he was, giving advice to villagers and stuff, I love Dainsleif. Dainsleif's, he's not a bad guy, he really hates the gods. And because of his whole curse thing, he really doesn't like to be around people, so I can't see him living happy time in the village. And also, it's come up before that, people remember our brother, but these are, immortal people. So I don't think it's him either.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out. Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembers his name. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality or something. Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased, necessarily, but more like he never existed to begin with?
Now, it is possible that he's been erased, because there's this tree in Teyvat. It's like a mystical tree. I don't know how to explain, but it contains memories of all the world. Essentially, kind of. It's complicated, but like, one of the playable characters technically erased memories of him from the tree so he could live a new life, essentially. So it is possible that this person somehow was erased from memory, but I don't know.
Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one. Someone who only exists in people's memories?
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the Vamara Village Commission?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vamara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you. You have to find him.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager? Are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
There's Celestia, damn them. What kind of place are you taking me to?
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes
this
we would
is
look up at
definitely
the
not
clouds in the sky,
Dainsleif.
or stop to feel
no.
the wind against our skin.
Not him.
We could sit there for hours at a time, never realizing how long it had been.
I'm gonna doubt that it's our sibling, because from what we know, our sibling didn't like hang out in Vamara Village for extended periods. Like, he didn't hang out anywhere for extended periods of time.
I was actually adopted by the people of Vamara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
If this does turn out to be Dainsleif, there's a lot of fanfiction that needs to be rewritten about his character.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to.
Look,
or
Dainsleif is
if I should
hot,
say anything at all.
but the man's a loner. The man is a cursed immortal guy who kind of just wants to die. He also wants revenge on Celestia, but he kind of just wants to die. This man does not want to sit and listen to this girl about her life problems.
Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden. Really? You know exactly how I feel? Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well, I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore.
New theory. What if it's Hilichurl Kid? The Loom of Fate, because that's what he allegedly became. What if it's him?
I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Because we know his mom's dead, because the soil that we used to make his medicine might have contained his mom's, like, it didn't contain his mom's body, but his mom was buried underneath it. I don't know how to say anything other than that. And we know that his dad is dead because it's been like so many years. And his family line eventually leads to one of the playable characters.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it. Every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilichurls over there. Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange? The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this? Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Not a great scene for fighting Buddy Boy over here.
Gather!
Illusion shattered!
Now disappear!
Got to be kidding me.
Shine down! Here comes the finale!
Order guide you. Solidify!
Illusion shattered! There is no escape!
escape! Step right up!
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show
So that's
up.
the Abyss Order.
If you
I mean,
hadn't
that's
been
not
here,
the Abyss
I'm not
Order.
sure
That's
what
like
I would have done.
one of the lowest level enemies of the Abyss Order.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vimara village have been a lot more active lately. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
I mean, that could also be because we did a quest where we found out the Fatui were trying to have the kids kidnapped. Just gonna point that out. But, you know, it is because of the hilly trolls.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vimara village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something, that could spell trouble for the villagers. Wait a second. That person... It's Dainsleif!
Hi, Dainsleif!
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. Oh, see you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa!
Well, good news. Nobody has to rewrite their fan fictions for new
Why
characterization.
do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Look at this man. Look at him.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying to accomplish.
Still, the hilichurl activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk.
You know, there's a lot of people who think that we're going to end up fighting Dainsleif in the end. But I just want to let it be known, there's nothing they could do that could make me hate Dainsleif. They'll pry him from my cold, dead body. That's why I renamed the stream. Just so everyone knows what we're really about.
So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilichurl activity. And that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice she heard in her brother's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you?
Oh, asking you the tough questions. I mean, I think canonically the Traveler would be like, I have faith in him, but like on a personal level, I don't know. Me as a person? Oh. Because I feel like all of the signs are up that somehow at the end, well, there's two ways this could go about. So either at the end we turn out like our brother and we look back on like all of the gods of Tibet and stuff and we're like, y'all suck, I hate you, we want to take you down. Or we don't. And we know that for our sibling, that the events of Sumeru were like the turning point, was while he was in Sumeru. But I don't personally feel like the Traveler's really had that turning point. Like, I don't think the Traveler has seen at all what he means. I mean, I think she's seen why he hates Celestia, but I just don't think he'll ever convince us to take his side, because it's not like he's just here trying to kill the gods. Like, the Abyss Hoarder is out here killing like regular people. Like, Celestia did that too, obviously, and the gods have done that too, but like, they're not currently actively doing it. And not in the manner that it was being done.
I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done.
Well, he hasn't killed anybody that we love yet. I mean, I feel like the thing that would make us not take his side is if he killed somebody important to us.
The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary.
Better.
I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Jesus fuck. Dainsleif has a brother? I'm in shock.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them. The 5 sinners of Kanria. The wise Roptatir. The visionary Vedrfolnir. Gold Rhindaughter.
We know Rhindaughter.
The foul Sertologi.
And we know...
And Rehir of Solnari. Rerir.
So, we know Rhindaughter. Rhindaughter is an alchemist, and she created a bunch of the characters that came forth when Conria was attacking Tibet, which is the world of the gods and the world we're in. And she also created one of the playable characters, Albedo. He's an alchemic creation. She also created this giant dragon thing, which I feel really bad for him. And we don't know much about Sertologi, but we know he's hanging out in the Abyss. Because another playable character fell into the Abyss as a child and was trained by this lady named Skirk. And Skirk was trained by Sertologi. So we know those two. But I don't think I've heard of either of the others. No, okay. It does not look like the other two have ever been mentioned. So, I'm gonna go with we don't know any of the rest of them.
No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
And I guess to clear it for Dainsleif, because he kind of made it confusing, only the one guy is his brother. Because Gold is definitely not his sister. I mean, I guess she could be. Technically, it said she's not, but I don't think she is. So I'm going to get to none of the rest are his siblings, just the one.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhyndaughtr is the one who created Albedo. Sertology is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vetafolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
They were once people of great esteem in Khaenri'ah. Those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. 6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world.
Oh, and so that's the other thing. The sibling has definitely cited a couple times that part of the reason why they've, become the Abyss Prince and joined the Abyss is kind of because of the whole Khaenri'ah thing and the destruction of Khaenri'ah. But, as of yet, all of the Abyss plans that are supposed to help take revenge on Khaenri'ahs have hurt, a bunch of Hilichurls who are the people of Khaenri'ah who've been cursed. The quest before the last one with the guy and his Hilichurl son was in the chasm, which is a big underground cavern, and our sibling had the Abyss Order turn on this device, and it tortured all of the Hilichurls and all of the other Abyss people and all of the Conrads, because it hurt Dane too, and he's not Abyss, so it tortured all of the Conrians. So he's not if he's wanting to take revenge for the homeland, he's not doing a good job of it. Also, it's taking them 500 years.
Of course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
So here's quest 1.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they
so it's going to go through all the quests.
Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
I mean, give it the program, Dainsleif, everything's fucking related to the ley lines at this point. It's a shocking day if somehow, some way, weird events in a quest, somehow the ley lines don't get brought up.
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? I believe that was due to
Which
the
isn't
fact
shocking,
that the ley
because like I
lines in
said,
that
there's the
area
whole
were unstable.
ancient tree where like all of the memories of the world are stored, so like that's part of why the ley lines are also involved, because the ley lines are just connected to the tree. But yeah, no, the ley lines are involved. Okay.
My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
Wait, then our commission here in Vamara Village, the person who seems to exist only in people's memories, could it be connected?
Yes, because it's connected to the Irminsul tree. There we go. I was right. Got ya.
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Okay. New theory. Okay. Ley lines. They're connected to Irminsul, the tree with people's memories. Abyss Order. They've been affecting the ley lines. Somehow, the ley lines affecting the Irminsul, either there's a person and it erases the memory from existence, or it makes up the memory. There we go. That's new theory. It's two theories.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow.
I mean, last time we teamed up with Dane and went to sleep, we did end up entering our siblings' memories. So I'm a little nervous to go to sleep. That's how shit went down last time. Did Dane sleep in the cabin with us?
Oh, so tired.
Does Dane sleep?
I used way too much brain juice yesterday. It's all Dane's fault saying all that complicated stuff. Well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot to do today.
He kind of strikes me as a guy who doesn't sleep. You know, the whole, like, tortured past thing. I could see him not sleeping. I could see him not being able to sleep. You know?
Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning out over here?
Maybe that was him sleeping, him zoning out. Maybe he sleeps with his eyes open, just standing up. He even sounds like he could have been sleeping.
Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before.
Oh, and we're not going to be affected by Irminsul because we don't exist in Irminsul. That was one of the revelations of a quest a while back, is like, for some reason, our sibling shows up in Irminsul as if they're from this world, but we don't. And that's because we're a descender. We're descender number 4, but somehow our twin sibling is not a descender.
Memories of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories.
So he does sleep. Okay, no more
Memories
fanfic
that
lore.
suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then.
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
Well, did you hand him the eye of the first field tiller? That's an important question. Because I'm pretty sure he took it. Yeah, he has the eye of the first field tiller. At the end of the very first Dainsleif quest is him taking the field tiller eye.
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe they never knew him at all. But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way. Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet. However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, I would say an equal level of caution is in order on our part.
I will not take my eyes off you, Dainsleif.
Come with me.
Don't you worry.
We must check whether the eye is still in our possession.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
It seems like a bad idea, Dane.
Of course.
Oh. I can hit it in Sumer. This. Dainsleif. What have you done? Oh, thank God. I thought this was back at the place where the last Dainsleif was. That's my bad. I keep hitting the triangle button because in the other Hoyoverse game I play, Honkai Star Rail, I think the triangle button is to interact. I know it's the interact and talk button in Assassin's Creed. Can't remember Star Rail. It's for sure Assassin's Creed, which I've been playing a bunch of.
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
I disagree.
Hey, wait up!
Kaylin, our fears are coming true. He's being controlled. My husband is leading them straight to the abyss. Or not to the abyss, to the eye. God damn it, Dane. You're supposed to be better than this. What are you doing? I mean, they're gonna end up with the eye. Like, let's not kid ourselves here, if you will. They are going to end up with the eye. I mean, I don't think we know what it does either. I think we just know that the Abyss wants it and they could use it to, like,
shine down,
hurt people, take over the world. I don't know.
Illusion shattered.
I see everything.
God, when this fight is done, I'll look up what the field pillar eye does. I really don't remember it this.
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the
Okay, let me see if this says what the eye of the first field tiller does. Okay, so there's this god that we fought in like one of the very early main story quests. That it's this giant sea god, and he goes to destroy Leeway Harbor. He'd been sealed for a long time because he tried to destroy Leeway Harbor back in the day.
The floor
and
to the side door.
This guy, the god
Perhaps
of
you should
Leeway,
try reactivating the mechanism over there.
Sealed him down here, and then he got released as part of the storyline. And the Abyss Order wanted to put the Eye of the Field Tiller into this statue, this religious statue that they defiled, and then attach it to Osile, the god, to make a mechanical god. Which is funny because later, in the storyline for the region we're actually currently in, there's a whole thing about a mechanical god that's not related to the Abyss Order. Oh, there we go. And one of our playable characters tries to become a mechanical god. Not really related to the Abyss. Actually, it's part of an organization that was, I'm pretty sure, anti-Abyss for the most part. But I don't know how to explain it.
There is no escape.
So this is a rune guard, but they also, the Conrians are the ones who invented them, and they called them field tillers. And that thing in his face is the eye. And the original field tiller is back in another region, and as part of a quest, we went and took the eye out. At least I'm gonna guess they end up with the field tiller eye, just because I feel like they need to in order for the storyline to keep going. Like,
make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism.
what? What do you mean?
The door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
I mean, just as a relative term here. Dainsleif? I fucking swear to God. You've taken me into a room with another creepy statue. I'm gonna have a conniption. Dainsleif. I had about enough of creepy statues. Who is this?
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Gather!
Thank God we brought a pirate team.
A round of applause. And voila!
Freeze and devour!
This is order.
Foolish mortal!
Shine down! Now you shall perish!
Step right up.
In the storm! Hear the final prophecy. Blood run cold!
And voila!
Desolation!
Just
my
as I suspected.
controller is dying.
The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place.
God, you always fucking do this, Dainsleif. I just want to help you. And you won't let me help you.
The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager. Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer.
So I'm assuming the Eye of the First... Why do I feel like the Eye of the First Field Tiller is here? God. What if he is a twin? One of the quests I did for Assassin's Creed today involved twins and one of them was evil. Wait. Oh my gosh. Kaylin, hold on to your seat. Breathe. Oh, it's just our brother. This is our brother.
I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
It's not Dainsleif's twin. I really thought it was going to be Dainsleif's twin.
You risked your safety. And that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone.
Either if you kill Dainsleif, I'm gonna have an issue.
I know you must have a lot to say. But if it's
like,
a
why did you break
conversation
up
you
with
want,
me?
You'll have to defeat me first.
Dane, if you die, what am I gonna do next year?
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack. We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on.
Are you gonna make me walk all the way back to
Look at
fucking
those hill
Vimara
trails over
Village?
there. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a sudden?
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now? It sounded so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the villagers in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else. Looks like the same thing is happening over here, too. The hilly churls are calm.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered, softly, "Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more."
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the hilly trolls have calmed down, Vimara village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara village before it's too late.
Are you gonna fucking make me walk all the way back to the village? God. At least it didn't pop us out all the way where we went into the,
Grandpa Medea, is everyone alright? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern. But as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Huh? Well, you know, the young guy from Vimara village. The one you've been looking for all this time. You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild. That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually. Your missing persons commission.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring to. Perhaps you should try asking someone.
But how is that? All right. Thanks for your help, Grandpa Amadea.
Old
Something's
people.
definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadea about the missing villager. There's no way he could have forgotten all about him just like that. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again? You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities first. Let's go ask someone else then.
Wrong way.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him, too. They couldn't have gone far.
I mean, I knew we were gonna end up going under the tree.
Strange.
That's not shocking.
Hey, Ram seems to remember him. And apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, no one remembers him, because there's been a change in people's memories. If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now. If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, that could explain why the villagers said he hadn't gone missing. No, Baram still remembers him. He just forgot about the fact that this person went missing.
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory. Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time. That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf. But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Where should we go look for him? Who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is. Good idea. That'll help us narrow things down. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Could we try to figure out more about him using what we know of his ability? Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection. That would make it much harder to avoid suspicion.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time isn't passing! That's the tell of the fake memories! The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours of the day. If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that something was off. Like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
The color of the sky coincides with the moment in time she described.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Yeah, I was on to that.
Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory. Yeah, that's where they'll be.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't.
Oh, he's definitely Conrian. This man is a Conrian.
Talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and
Conrian
young woman. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet.
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll head back to the village then. Talk to you some other time.
Who is this?
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate.
This is the Hilichurl kid. I was right. Hilichurl kid.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her, but I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk.
Care Bear's kind of attractive too. I'll put that out there. I'm liking the Conrian clothes. Oh, Jesus. I can't read this. Bestie. Bestie, no. I think I assume that's probably the Conrian alphabet or something, because Bestie, I don't know what that means. I just love this. I bought shimmery decor for my apartment. I bought these, like, I'll have to send you a picture when I put them up. They're technically like little, so first I was going to buy the fake vines, but then I changed my mind because I found they're technically like little party streamers, but it's strings of like iridescent sun and moon and stars and stuff. And then I also bought the like sun catcher window stickers that you put on, that they're also iridescent, and it makes fun shapes. I'm going for a theme here. Keep trying to hit triangle.
I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well know.
'Cause you self-destructed.
It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this. And now, the time has finally arrived.
I'm just glad you're not crazy like your dad. Your dad kind of went off the deep end.
Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines in its primitive form. It can only be used to create and implant memories. But, as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world. As if I had a chance at life. I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I just couldn't accept it.
This is depressing as
I had to know
usual
what it
for a
would be
Dainsleif
like if I had my own
quest.
life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me.
Well, apparently you'd have a girlfriend.
Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa.
Did we just miss on talking to Granny
What would
Jahiyat?
it be
Did we
like
do
if I could
something
live
that made it
alongside
skip
them?
that? I don't know.
No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness.
I was gonna say, I was pretty sure he was like a child when we saw him
Even the form you
self-destruct.
see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The loom of fate has already been completed.
And we knew that. I mean, you didn't know it, but we knew that because hashtag it was in the trailer. That voice line.
No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the prince. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait.
Hmm?
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the Prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that we were not on the same side there for a minute.
In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory, after he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment. My goal was simple: to use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me.
Oh, now this is sad.
It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us.
Definitely, if you watch me play on my alt account, you are going to get to experience me crying. There's a specific quest that I know I'll cry at.
I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time.
Yeah, it's back in the third region that we visit. It involves child sacrifice. I will not make it through the end of that. Not because obviously child sacrifice, very sad. But he goes and plays music to this big bird, and I, fucking lost it at that. There's a couple of them that I might cry at. There's another one where, basically, there's the ones where some characters die. I'll probably cry at too.
The bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Okay. I was kind of hoping to get to keep that. I cried during one, not on stream, but it was during a quest I played the other day.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time.
Where we were in a dream and saw our brother, very similar to this. Because this isn't real. Let's not lie to ourselves here. This is all fake. Fake, fake, fake.
Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it.
I'm mad at you,
Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible.
I mean, Dainsleif at least semi-explains things to us. You just keep being like, you'll understand why I want to destroy the world one day.
How about a conversation?
You better explain something. Someone needs some explanation.
The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time.
Yeah, you've got a whole year. I mean, because, just so you're aware, Caitlin, this shit ain't really gonna come up for another year. Next Dainsleif quest. So, there's still 2 more regions before we get to what's considered endgame. So, a teaser trailer for Notland just released, which is the next region, which will come out in August. And then it'll be a year of that. At some point, there'll be another Dainsleif quest. And then we'll be going to Snezhnaya, which is the last region we haven't been to. And there'll probably be a Dainsleif quest at the end of that. And then comes the Celestia chapter, and I think that's when all of this stuff, because this stuff, like, it's relevant to the main plot, but it's a lot more backgroundy lore type stuff and not quite fully as entrenched. That's why it comes out, like, after, like I said, the whole last quest led up to the Loom of Fate, and then you don't hear anything about the Loom of Fate in any of the main storyline quests that comes out with the new region. Like, Dainsleif is not mentioned any time outside of his quests. And a lot of the events that take place during his quest are, like, basically never mentioned. So it's almost like there's 2 separate storylines running. There's the Archon quests where you're dealing with all of the stuff in the different region. And then even though the Dainsleif quests are Archon quests as well, they're, like, very separate. So one of them's telling, like, the surface level stuff going on into that. And then the Dainsleif quest is, like, here's, like, the lore stuff of, like, what's happening behind the scenes.
Before the heavenly principles awaken.
Confirmation.
Yes. For 500 years now,
still asleep.
Ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne, yes?
This is actually one of the first times that events in the Archon quest have really been full-on connected to the Dainsleif quest. I mean, everything's kind of been connected, but, like...
Such a flagrant disregard for the rules. And still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful, even as a hilly churl. Seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it.
I mean, even though I'm mad at either and I don't agree with the Abyss, like, I also hate the Heavenly Principles. Like, we're not here for them either. We're a person of the people. We're like, what if we just stopped doing things that killed people?
So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the heavenly principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words.
And, like, I get that, but the abyss, again, is out here, like, hurting people. It's just, like, people trying to live their average everyday life. Like, I get it. Boo Celestia. And, like, 500 years ago, the gods committed war crimes. Like, I get it. But, like, what if we just didn't kill people?
Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that.
That's because I named you something else.
To ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now.
That's fucking cop out. Fuck you, Hoyoverse.
There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
Oh, I was like, is that people up
At
there?
the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
I was to say, Lumine, I get that you love your brother, but also he's committing war crimes too.
What's going on?
This space has lost its
Lumine's a little too
I
forgiving
doubt
for
it'll be
me.
able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here.
Oh, fuck you. Okay. Oh, fuck you. No, like I said, Lumine's a little too forgiving. And I think some of that is because, like, I think canonically Lumine's still really concerned about finding her brother. But as players, I don't think any of us really care about her darn brother. I'm like, I want to do all the quests and hang out with all of the gods who committed a war crime and marry Dainsleif. Like, I could care less about her brother. Like, this is so unsentimental of me, but like, I wouldn't even be angry if they killed our sibling at the end. Like, if we had to take down our sibling, I want him to go full, I honestly want him to go full evil, and we just have to get rid of him because we don't agree with him. Like, I know that this game wants to imply that we're gonna, like, see his side of things and be like, yeah, and you know what, I agree with you, but I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't agree with the heavenly principles. I don't agree with you.
Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
This is kind of a cool little effect. I can't believe they did our guy Dainsleif dirty like that, though. The man got beat up.
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here.
I mean, I have to assume that he got defeated in the fight, because how else would they have gotten the... I'm just trying to picture, like, how did either get the eye? Like, we know that Dainsleif's fine, because Carrie Bear said he was totally fine. So, like, we know he didn't just, like, kill Dainsleif and rip it out of his body. But, like, how is it in his body? Because, Dainsleif has, like, a human body as far as I know.
Oh, and Dane came by just now? It looked like he was injured.
Oh, never
mind. He
mind.
didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were alright and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya.
Never mind, he's injured.
For a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? What a score! Well, what happened after that?
Yeah, your fucking mind.
There you are. Sleep well?
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurers. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. It looked like quite a happy family, apparently. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long.
Well, at least our Adventurers Guild credibility isn't ruined.
Oh, and we also remembered his name, Kari Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is. And we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
So are we not going to get to see Dane?
Seems like everyone thinks Kari Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now. Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing.
I don't care about it.
Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so
I don't
she's
care
probably
about
at the tree. Come on.
I just want to know if I get to see Dainsleif the last time. Like, this isn't even like, oh, Maddie likes Dainsleif, haha, funny. This is like genuinely like, is that it? Is that all we're getting out of him? We're not going to get any more, like, we're not going to get like, okay, we'll see each other next time. We need to separate. Also, like, we did find out who the sinner is, but like, it did not do anything with him.
Hey, Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Kari Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. He always seemed to appear out of nowhere, and now he left just as quickly. If Kari Bear wants me to forget about the time we spent together, then I'm willing to try. I've relied on him for a lot of things, but I'm sure with enough time, even the deepest of attachments can fade.
Man's died as an 8-year-old. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, I'll admit. I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I? Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay.
Girl,
it's just
you
like
are
Kari
not
Bear
dumped.
said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me one day. Anyway,
He dead.
thanks
He
for
dead,
all your
girl.
hard work, you two.
He was
I
dead
promised I'd
the
help
whole
Granny
time.
Jafiet with something, so I should head back. Goodbye.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now. Oh, right. Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Kari Bear? A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon see.
Is this like the get along shirt? Is Kyrie Bear trying to tell us we need to get along? Fuck you, Kyrie Bear. I'll get along with him in hell. So we don't get to see Dainsleif. That's it. He's injured. His ego is pretty fucking bruised. Does he even... Well, no, he has to know that they have the eye of the eye thing because it was taken out of his body, presumably. Oh my god. I can't with this. I feel like this quest was not as good as some of the previous Danes quests. I feel like this quest just dropped a bunch of... I mean, it was lore, but I felt like it was like just an assortment of different lore. Like, I don't even know. I said it was fine. I just feel like compared to other quests, it really did just kind of drop a bunch of random tidbits, like Dainsleif telling us who the sinner was. Great, it answered that question. But then the rest of the quest really had nothing to do with it. I don't know. I mean, it did drop a lot of lore. I'll give them credit for that. Lots of lore. I'm just not sure how I feel about the storyline of the quest. As much as I bitch about either, I do think that was an interesting way to give us lore. No. Stay away from me. I'm not here for you. God, I can't even go in? Okay. This is the house where the whole Last Dainsleif quest and the whole Hill Trail thing went down. And there's the field where we ended up finding the body of the guy's mom. I swear it all went down. God. Well. Okay. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. But no, I liked the quest, but I think I just feel like the last one was so much better at telling a cohesive story. I mean, this one had like a story, but then it just felt like along the way we had all these little lore drops, and so the story wasn't as strong because it was just meant to be a vehicle for those lore drops to occur, if that makes sense. Like I said, well, I guess I do understand why they finally had us talk to our sibling. At the same time, like, if you're gonna cop out and be like, oh, I have so many questions, but blah, blah, blah. And I know some of it's just because I'm so, like, I'm just not about it. I'm just not about our sibling. Like, I don't even know how to put it. I just don't agree, and I don't know how they're going to convince me to agree. Because I feel like they're going to have to. Like, somehow we are going to end up somehow agreeing with their sibling, and I kind of feel like we already do. To some extent. But I don't know. I mean, you really gotta stop forgiving your brother so easily. I don't know. Stop forgiving him. I was gonna see if we got any new lines, but it would be hard to tell. Oh, yeah. No. I was glad to see Dainsleif. I think my disappointment is I mean, I guess I can see why we didn't see him at the end, because then you have to have this whole, like, thing where you have to discuss that they got the eye, and, like, they want everything to be kind of a surprise for next year. Like, they gotta keep us in line. That's why they don't weave in a lot of this Abyss Order sibling stuff into the main story quest, because, like, then they'd have to show all of their cards and reveal things
the
too
world
soon.
Remains constant over the centuries.
But, you know, I just want to see Dane more. He comes out once a year. He gets like 5 minutes of screen time. We don't even get to see him fight our brother. That's it. You know where's a fun place to go? Okay. I know where we're actually going to end it. Here we go. This is where we're ending it. You can just run this whole loop like this. This is the type of quality content that people come to watch me for. There legitimately is a stream where I spent like 15 minutes right at the end talking, and I just was doing this. And it was quality content. Okay, I am gonna go to bed though, because I have work tomorrow. But I'll be back on tomorrow night, apparently, with more Genshin so that I can get Prima Gems. I want Clarend. This woman needs to be on my screen. Okay. I am going to go to bed now, though. Thank you.